you went to him?
Pa's there.
Really?
Ivan's there, but with Clamp, yeah.
So I'm not sure he's walking in six. So we have to go.
So I went there and I got back. Just yesterday night. Hello.
Hello, this is Nansu.
Hi, Nansu.
Hello.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, Anu.
We just wait for a couple more minutes before we start.
Hi, this is Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Good afternoon.
So I guess we can get started. In the room here, I have Nina, Trevor, Riling, Xiaoling, and Firas. Both Ergen and Hua are actually at Hens right now, so they won't be able to call in. And on the call, I have Diana, Huni, Ian, Jeff, Nansu, Ron, Todd, Tim, and Wei Wei. Have I missed anybody? So, if not, then we'll get started. Actually, on the agenda today, I just want to talk about the ongoing testing that's being done by various folks, and also a little bit about the DataMed version 2 release. And then after that, if there are updates from all team members, then we can just briefly talk about that. So last Thursday, on 16th, I sent out an email. Oh, first we'll talk about the action items. So basically, we're still working on generating the help and the FAQ page. Also, what we have that needs to be done is a complete re-indexing with the updated NLP pipeline. And Xiaoling has a brief update about that.
So previous the NLP component have two problems. First, the memory leak. We found that is from the MetaMed Lite. And now the MetaMed Lite people, they fix the memory problem, and I have integrated into the program. And the second problem is that our entity recognition performance is not good enough. We have people here annotate more samples. We've improved our algorithms. And now the precision is much better than before. It's about 90% precision. So by the end of this week, I should be able to send the updated code to Jeff and Brock.
Good. So that means then starting next week, then we'll be able to do the integration and testing on our end, which means that the full reindex will be done after the 2.0 release, sometime probably then in early mid-March.
Right, but we can still update at the back end, right, Jeff?
Yes, yeah.
So I have a quick question. Would it be possible first to make sure that you don't have a memory leak by going back to the repositories that you had problems last time?
Yes, we'll test. I mean, Barack will remember which one it was. So we'll do some tests on the initial. When we first get it integrated, we'll run it on some of the larger ones. It was pretty evident. It was pretty evident even on some of the medium-sized ones. I think even Array Express, we were seeing it. So.
Okay, because I know Xiaoling already did do some testing, but I just want that we do independent testing before.
Yes, no, definitely, yes.
Okay. And then, as we had planned, the testing was to begin on February 16th, and we did start testing, and we've had some feedback from people, so we can talk about that a little bit. And one of the things that came up last time was that with reference to the data type ontology, Philippe wanted to have a meeting with Xiaoling and Riling maybe. I don't know. Firat too probably, because as you know, Riling is going to be leaving in 3 weeks' time, and so Firat will be working. He's already started working closely with Riling too, so that he gets familiar with the system and he would be able to take over her work on DataMed. So I'll arrange for this meeting, but probably after the version 2 is released, because right now everybody's fairly busy. And I think Elizabeth is working on arranging for the CDE meeting with George. So, with reference to the testing, I just want to, let's see, so, did everybody get the link to the Trello test plan, or does anybody need access to this?
No, it seems to be working very nicely.
I know that Jeff Euling, Devon sent me an email saying that he didn't get my invitation email, so
Okay.
I resent it to him today
Okay.
to his email
Okay.
address. So hopefully he should be able to get in there and check out the system. Another update is that Kathleen from Avimayam's group volunteered to help us out with the testing, and she went in and basically looked over DataMed fairly comprehensively, I think, and she generated a PDF with her comments and feedback. Reeling and Shaoling have that, so we're going to go over it. If there are bugs, I think we will be fixing them as soon as possible because we got that over the weekend. Right, that was yesterday. So yesterday was a holiday for the university and we were closed. So Reeling and Shaoling are going to be working on that document as well. Whatever doesn't get fixed as we had done in the past, all of that will get integrated into GitHub. By the way, I just added something here where you can actually press on prototype issues here, and I think it takes you directly to GitHub. So there are also some other what they call power-ups that we can put in. So maybe I need to spend some time to see what would be useful for us to integrate and link up here with Trello so we can have issues that are reported in Trello if we are not fixing them, or if we do fix them, also to put them into GitHub so that we have all issues recorded at once in one space. So are there any questions or concerns? Does anybody need access? Anybody else need access here?
Thus far, Anu, have there been major issues that represent significant problems?
I actually want to ask Reeling and Shaoling if they think there's anything major that's come up.
I think the bug is not that major. That's a minor bug.
There are minor bugs.
In the Kathleen's report. I think there's 3 or 4 bugs. Yeah. Most of them are feedback.
What about the feedback that we got on Trello directly? So I just want to say I've been traveling and I just got back yesterday night, so I haven't actually had time to go through the issues, but
we haven't received a lot of issue from the Trello yet. That's still 2, 3 or 4.
Yeah, most of them just say small bugs.
small bugs, right? No major bugs yet. Okay. Does that answer your question, Ron?
Yes. So does it look like everything's in place to roll it out next Monday?
I guess Shaoling and Reeling will try and fix all the bugs that have been reported before that, and potentially we want to get back to the users that reported the bugs so that they can test it out for us again, just to make sure that the bug is no longer there. But yeah, besides that, I think we are kind of set for the release on Monday. Tuesday.
Okay.
Sorry, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, so it's March 1st?
No, next Tuesday is 28th.
Oh, you're right. 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. What you can do is, and I think this would be helpful to me and Ian, is at the end of the day on Monday, if everything looks in place and you're ready to launch, send us a note, and then we can alert those people who are now running this program at NIH Central, so that they can be aware, indeed, that version 2.0 will launch on the 28th.
Okay. So, I guess most of you know, the development server is where we are doing the testing, and you need to use BioCaddy and BioCaddy to be able to get onto the server. And if I know that there are people who are still testing the system, so we are asking everybody to complete their testing by the 23rd. That's day after tomorrow. So that will give us sufficient time for us to fix bugs and other issues before the release, so that we are ready for everything by Monday. And it will also give us enough time to fix the issues, test it out again, and then move everything to the production server. Besides that, in terms of release announcement for version 2.0 that you were talking about, Ron, what we were thinking is that we have a list. This list is basically the list that was compiled earlier when we released version 1, which had BD2K folks and a couple of other NIH folks that Ian and Ron and Dave and Allison had compiled together. And along with that original list, we added in existing DataMed users as well as the folks that filled out the survey on DataMed and at other places that we actually were handing out the survey link at. And we've compiled everything. So the list actually has about 700, it's slightly less than 700 people on it. So one idea was to send out an update and an announcement to these folks saying that version 2 is available. Also, as we did last time when we did version 1, we sent a release announcement to the BD2K newsletter to Lisa, and I was thinking that maybe we could do the same this time, just to say that we have version 2.0 available, or we're releasing version 2.0 and on the 28th. And release announcement also can be put up in mailing list. So what I'd like to do is send out the release announcement to all people on the CDT and as well as other BioCaddy team members, and request that whatever mailing list you are on, please do put the release announcement on those mailing lists. That way, it gets spread a little more extensively.
I know. Are you also going to use the center's coordinating center?
Oh, I don't have a contact there. Is there somebody?
Well, that's Brian Beakley.
Okay.
Because they have an extensive list as well.
Center coordination center.
And what about what about Force 11 and RDA?
I can talk to Stephanie and see if she has a mailing list that she can send it out to. But I also remember that they were. So I have to talk to Elizabeth to ask her, because I know that we always tweet whenever we have releases, and I know that our tweets are picked up by Force 11, but probably we need to do a more formal release to Force 11. I'm not sure.
Yeah, someone like, Marianne, certainly, Marianne Martone, maybe Melissa Hundell.
Uh-huh. So this is what we have planned. I have a quick question for everybody on the call today. So on the homepage, what we have right now is, in terms of what the new features are for version 2 release, we've included that we are implementing a tracking system at the back end. And one of the things that Reeling, Shaoling, and I talked very briefly about is whether we should put it up like this. I mean, is that going to spook people? Or should we say, put a disclaimer at the bottom of the page and say whatever information that's being collected on this website will be used for, improving the system or something like that?
So, I think one of the things, to give a good answer to that question, Anu, is to get a summary of the information that's being tracked. Now, you may have described that already, so just a reminder on what that is would be useful.
So right now, we are actually logging in all the queries.
Rather than describing it now, what I'm asking is that's written down somewhere, and that we've got a pointer to a web page or something that says what is being tracked. And in future, what's going to happen with the data that's being tracked, and who's going to have access to it. In many ways, it would be good that the results of this tracking are fairly widely available. But what the issues, I don't want to say that should be the case without thinking through what the issues involved in that might be.
So what Google do is they have a little link that says privacy, and that tells you somewhere buried in that page is what's selected and what's done with it. I think that's a better strategy than to say we are tracking your every move on the landing page.
We can barely hear Trevor.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say that what Google do is they have a little link that says privacy, and somewhere within where that leads, it tells you what's collected. And I think that's probably a better strategy than broadcasting. We will be collecting something from you as you explore the page, and so if people are interested to see what's collected. And I think people probably assume that something's being collected as they expect. That's just typical of every online.
Almost every web page, right? So when you say that the information should be accessible, do you mean to open to everybody?
Well, the point of doing this tracking is so that useful things can be learned about BioCaddy, right? And
right.
Given that BioCaddy is an open system, it's a question about who this data should be made available to. Certainly with the sense that the idea that BioCaddy is a prototype that informs NIH as to issues to do with indexing data, that it's good to know. It's good for people to have access to this.
I'm not sure. really there are IRB issues related to that, so maybe I would want to check on that before we make it open, because we are.
But the issues might be, and I'm sure they're non-issues for the most part. I mean, the kind of issues would be if there was PHI in there or PII, and I can't imagine that that's going to be the case, right?
There's no PHI information, just their URL and timestamp and the widget they click and the query they use.
But are we
Well-
recording like session IDs, and
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
logged in, then do we know who they are because they're logged in?
We collect
Perhaps that needs to be in the facts page.
The sorts of concerns people have raised in the past have been things like, oh, well, I don't want other people to know what I'm doing and what I'm planning. I might be looking up these data sets for a grant I'm putting together, and it's so original that if somebody knew the data sets I was looking at, I don't know how valid these concerns are, but these are the sorts of things that have come up in discussions before with this, and also similarly with literature search, like with the HAM TMC library that's local, when we've used some of their data before. So,
I know that from PubMed, for example, they do log all queries, but
Right.
they
But they
that's
don't
not
release
made
them.
available to anybody.
Not
It's
publicly
internal,
available,
yeah.
And maybe there's a reason for that we haven't stumbled on. So I guess the question will be, if PubMed does not expose their query log to the general public, or even to interested researchers who ask for them, is this something DataNet would want to do?
So I mean, I just don't know if there would be any kind of identifiable information, like if somebody has, are we recording the user? If I log in and I have a session going on, that would be recorded, right?
So we wouldn't release that, right?
Yeah, we
If
will
release-
not.
So even if we do release, so I guess we'll have to look into.
We will collect any user information, even will you give them cookie ID?
I guess we have click-through data as well. Like this, these are the search results and these are the ones they clicked on.
Yeah.
I mean, that sort of thing could be really valuable to research for evaluation.
So I guess, I mean, maybe I can try and dig in a little bit to see whether we would need some kind of IRB approval.
Or to do research on it, we would, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But to release it,
Does the IRB govern the release of
data,
data?
I think it depends. Because when you're signing DUAs and other stuff, I think the IRB requires some.
Right. So if we
From-
were,
or
if
from
we
both
were to
ends,
release
right?
it, we'd have to release
Yeah.
it with an agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can look into that a little bit when.
I mean, it's not an urgent concern because there isn't any data.
Not enough
Yeah.
information yet, of course, yeah.
But I would agree that before we switch it on, we need to have on the website somewhere this is what's being collected and why. And I guess if we're thinking about releasing it or doing research on it, we need to say that it would be used for research purposes and improvement of the product.
Product, yeah, of data metadata.
Yeah.
So actually, that's it. Just have a total number of GitHub issues we've 243, with 115 being open right now. What I did want to go through briefly is these were the issues that we were thinking about as being priority for us to work on, where we were looking into the following. I mean, we had a kind of a consensus from everybody where they said that, or the people who went in to and filled it out said that these are the issues that we should be focusing on right now. So that's what we are working on. Xiaoling has completed the display of the duplicates in the metadata. Well, the metadata records was already completed at the UI, and as well it has been completed and it's undergoing tests. So it's been implemented. So some of the other things are either ongoing and some of them have not been started yet. But these are the things that will get done and will be updated on the website as and when they're done after testing, internal testing as well. So, it's not something that we're gonna wait for the next release to update on the website.
So what would be helpful as far as this list goes, Anu, when it says status? It's not clear whether that means they're in 2.0 or not. I mean, from what you've just said, I would imagine that anything that's not started is not going to be in 2.0. Yeah?
Right.
But it's less clear. I mean, but saying one way or the other whether things are going to be in 2.0 or not would be helpful.
So,
the other thing, I mean, in general, if somebody has reported an issue and we make an announcement of the release, I would hope that if somebody goes to GitHub right now, that GitHub is an accurate reflection of which things have been fixed and in 2.0 and which ones have not.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know whether that's the case, but we certainly need to check that that's the case.
Now, for those that are not started, there will be a rolling addition of these items to the 2.0. That is, we will not wait until the next iteration. Okay.
Right.
So, do you have a? I think it would be helpful to have a timetable for doing it, and some acknowledgement to the core development team about when each issue has been indeed added.
Oh, was that when it was added?
Yeah. When it's finally been added to the to the release. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And also, I guess as soon as it's been added, we will update on GitHub that it's been added. So it's it should get reflected there.
I know that broken links, that is irritating to anyone who stumbles across them. So I wonder if that needs to be a little bit higher on the priority list.
So this prioritization was basically taken off of what was considered to be high priority by, I think, the people who responded to the spreadsheet that I did send around earlier. So we pooled everybody's, ranking, and then this is the final list that came up. Some hope. Besides this, actually, I don't think we have anything else. Is there anything else that we should be talking about? Does anybody else have Any issues they want to raise today?
No, I think with the
wait.
that's the main thing.
Sorry, Ian, did you say something? Because I think your voice kept getting cut.
Sorry, I was just saying that with the release this imminent, I think everything you talked about is probably the main focus at this point. So I didn't have anything else.
Okay.
Okay, so we won't meet again until a week from today, which is the day of the release. So if there's anything that pops up that might compromise that, let us know. And then again, on Monday, as you get ready to push the button, let us know as well.
Okay, we will. And I will get in touch with Lisa to have a release email sent out with the BD2K newsletter as well. So actually that's so the video. Okay, there's just one more thing. So the video, Jeff, is completed now, right? Since everybody's provided feedback, and so do we know where that video is going to get embedded on the BioCaddy webpage?
I don't know where the video is going to be embedded, but I mean that's something we can bring up on the next
Executive committee meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it should be prominent on the landing page, so that someone who's new to DataMed can indeed get a quick introduction through the video.
Yeah, I know they have those 3 panels sort of under the main panel, so it might go into one of those potentially.
On DataMed?
Oh, I mean on BioCaddy itself.
On BioCaddy, right? So I just was wondering if we should have it on DataMed or not.
Yeah.
I definitely think it should be there. I mean, we're sending people to it. Not everyone is going to be able to hit the road running. So having the video as an introduction to DataMed could be very, very helpful to those users who are either new to it or less sophisticated with regard to doing digital searches for data.
Okay. Okay, then we can look into and see where we embed the video on the landing page, I guess the homepage of DataMed. Besides that, is there anything else that we wanted to talk about? If not, I think then we finish early today. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck with the launch.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.